Oh, okay. Hold on. Y'all ready now? I think I'm ready. Now, who is this little girl? We ain't never seen her before, have we? Who is she? She a little thin something. Who is she? She looks sick. Who in the hell is she? What? Is that one of them girls that went and got that surgery stuff and looking crazy as hell? Hey, Dorothy. Who is this? Lord. Yeah, so this is BDI Trump. And that's Foo. Oh, yeah, you may want to go on back because I just gave a whole little intro to me of how it's all full circle. And I'm seeing from Mo 3 to Dolph to YOGOTTI to Malcolm X Boulevard to Lil Quet, Big Juke, Lil Flip, the Princess, the Seniola Cartel, Diddy, Yellow Beezy. Yeah. Trump. Oh, 10% battery. Lord. All of that. So that's in the beginning. I don't trust anybody who is. Yep. And why is he? So let's listen to why he blowing up boats in Venezuela. You know, because they did have a deal at one point. He let them people go that they got arrested in Virginia. That M whatever something notorious. And y'all remember that Venezuela, wasn't it Venezuela? Gang that was coming to Memphis, to Tennessee. Yeah, remember, because that's where this bus went down at. This whole raid, Tennessee. Y'all remember when the F, the B, the I went to Tennessee and everything, telling them they was coming. Yeah, stay woke. Let's stay woke. And let's keep it real. Even 50 and him coming out and telling on Diddy. Let's go. Let's go, come on. Are you on it?
Also part of the former president of Honduras, and he was released from prison yesterday.
I did. Well, he was the president, and they had some drugs being sold in their country.
Also part of the former president of Honduras, and he was released from prison yesterday.
I did. Well, he was the president, and they had some drugs being sold in their country, and because he was the president, they went after him. That was a Biden horrible witch hunt, which was, a lot of people in Honduras asked me to do that, and I did it. I feel very good about it. If you have some drug dealers.
He feel really good because a lot of people in Honduras asked him to do it, and he did it. We had people here in the U.S. asked you to not cut food stamps off. You had folks here in the U.S., taxpayers, who said don't shut down the government, but you did it anyway. And you felt good about that too. So why do you feel so good about blowing up boats that's just in the water? They could be fishing. You don't know. You on a kill spree, but you let a notorious drug dealer, leader, drug lord, president go. But I mean, is that making sense to anybody? Because it damn sure don't make none to me. I thought drugs was drugs. And drugs was coming into the U.S. from Honduras, right? I mean, are you gonna let the capos, what is it, El Chapo? You gonna let them go too? Oh, that's how it is.
Honduras asked me to do that, and I did it. I feel very good about it. If you have some drug dealers in your country and you're the president, you don't necessarily put the president in jail for 45 years. That was a Biden-inspired witch hunt.
His letter impact your decision on that, sir, from Mr. Stone?
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
So because Biden, okay, so is that why he going to let go of GHISLAINE? Because it was under Biden? So 1 minute they're complaining about Biden administration didn't do nothing, and when he do something, you pardon the people. I can't wait till they put his ass and everybody else's ass in jail for the crimes against the United. He is an absolute traitor of the United States. It makes no sense to me.
Very good about it. If you have some drug dealers in your country and you're the president, you don't necessarily put the president in jail for 45 years. That was a Biden-inspired witch hunt.
His letter impact your decision on that, sir, from Mr. Stone?
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Your decision, recent decision to Syria, remove many hopes for the Syrian people. And now the minorities in Syria, like Kurds, Christians, and Jews, they want help. U.S. help them to have some sort of autonomy and their rights being protected in the Syria. How do you
We're going to give them help, and I think Syria's come a long way. The new leader of Syria was here, as you know, 3 weeks ago, and he was really into making that country, bringing the country around. Not an easy job. Not an easy job. It's you know,
He's such a deep sucker.
But I think he's going to do a good job. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in him. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, Mr. President.
In the broader context of the economy with these childhood investments, we just celebrated Black Friday in history, up 4.1% from last year. $26 billion. Kevin told me about that.
I don't want to hear this.
We saw that they're going to spend $1 trillion on Christmas this year. $1 trillion. Increasing 4.1%. 25 states, gas is below $3, a handful below $2.50 and getting better. Energy policy matters.
I like this guy.
Oh yeah, if you like him, I don't want to hear him. I don't want to hear him. If you like him, I don't want to hear him. Let me hear this one. You like him, I don't want to hear him.
If your handshake has gotten weaker, what I'm about to tell you could save your mind. A
Hold on, y'all.
78-year-old Tai Chi master.
You've made so clear how you want to keep drugs out of the U.S.
Keeping drugs out of the U.S. Let's go.
Can you explain more about why you would pardon a notorious drug trafficker?
Well, I don't know who you're talking about. Which
Juan Hernandez.
Well, I was told, asked
You was
by
told.
Honduras, many of the people of Honduras, they said it was a Biden setup.
Everything that goes wrong is a Biden setup. The reporter there was asking the president,
Biden?
you know, why.
That's what he was told.
He is.
You don't do no research. That's just so somebody can tell you the sky is blue. Your dumb ass gonna believe it. Yeah, did somebody tell you that Bill Clinton's pickle was a vagina and you went down on it thinking it was a vagina? I mean, since you believe in everything somebody tell you, are you just that slow? I mean, I know you slow, but are you that slow? Anybody can tell you anything. Oh, that's what you've been trying to do to the U.S. all along. Oh, is that why you thought we was going to move on past that Epstein? Oh, my bad. I guess you going to learn today.
Hernandez.
Well, I was told, I was asked by
Honduras, many of the people of Honduras, they said it was a Biden setup.
He don't care nothing about the U.S., y'all.
Everything that goes wrong is a Biden setup. The reporter there was asking the president, why, on the one hand, he is saying that he wants to protect us all from drugs and drug traffickers, and we know what's going on in the Caribbean. On the other hand, he's pardoning the former president of Honduras, Juan Orlando Hernandez, who is currently in prison, serving a 45-year sentence for helping drug traffickers move hundreds of tons of cocaine into the United States. We'll talk about that a little bit, but Cenk, your dos centavos.
Got that. Okay. So number one, there's a killer quote in this article about how this guy was basically making fun of Americans and how he was going to get us all hooked on drugs. So if Obama had let this guy off, or Biden, wow. Okay, so wait till you find out who this guy is. And then, of course, the second question is, why? Why are we letting one of the worst drug traffickers in history off with a pardon? It's insane. So let's try to figure out why.
Well, not just, but okay, yeah, we will. But not just that. Imagine if Obama or Biden had let them off. Blame Biden for putting him in jail is the other side of it, right? So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
Yeah, can you imagine if they're like, Biden comes in, he's like, oh, Trump put this terrible drug trafficker in jail. That was so wrong, the poor drug trafficker. I mean, what a terrible guy Trump was. So I released him right away so he can sell more drugs and make more fun of Americans as he does. I mean, people would have taken his political head off, right? So let's see if Trump's under different rules or not, because this is outrageous.
Well, I don't think we need this next segment to tell us that Trump is under different rules, but we will go ahead with it anyway. Last week, the president forecast this on Truth Social, writing this. He said, I will be granting a full and complete pardon to former President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who has been, according to many people that I greatly respect, treated very harshly and unfairly. This cannot be allowed to happen, especially now after Tito Asfura wins the election, when Honduras will be on its way to great political and financial success. Vote, now we're all caps, for Tito Asfura for president, and congratulations to Juan Orlando Hernandez on your upcoming pardon. Hernandez was sentenced to 45 years in prison, as I mentioned last year, for his role in orchestrating not just one thing, but a decades-long drug trafficking conspiracy that not only flooded America with cocaine, but also ravaged his own country of Honduras. Prosecutors said that Mr. Hernandez was key to a scheme that lasted more than 20 years and brought more than 500 tons of cocaine into the United States. As president, Mr. Hernandez told the U.S. officials that he was doing his utmost to stamp out drug trafficking. But prosecutors said his political career had been fueled by drug money as early as 2009, when he was still a lawmaker and vying to lead the Honduran legislature. Hernandez was, somebody who used bribery, and that bribery went all the way with Hernandez. Hernandez directed the police and military to protect smugglers who paid him off, to protect smugglers, and he promised to shield them from extradition to the United States. One accused co-conspirator was killed in a Honduran prison to protect the president, according to those court documents. He used drug money to manipulate the vote in 2 elections, the document said. During his initial run for president in 2013, prosecutors stated that his campaign was partially funded by notorious drug lord El Chapo, who gave him a $1 million bribe.
Wait a minute.
Leonel Rivera
El Chapo?
Maradiaga, a former leader of a gang called
El Chapo?
Hernandez, told the U.S. officials that he was doing his utmost to stand.
So the Senio
Anyway, last week, the president forecast that
so he can sell more drugs and make more fun of Americans as he does. I mean, people would have taken his political head off, right? So let's see if Trump's under different rules or not, because this is outrageous.
Well, I don't think we need this segment to tell us that Trump is under different rules, but we will go ahead with it anyway. Last week, the president forecast this on Truth Social, writing this. He said, I will be granting a full and complete pardon to former President Juan Orlando Hernandez, who has been, according to many people that I greatly respect, treated very harshly and unfairly. This cannot be allowed to happen, especially now after Tito Asfura wins the election, when Honduras will be on its way to great political and financial success. Vote, now we're all caps, for Tito Asfura for president. Congratulations to Juan Orlando Hernandez on your upcoming pardon. Hernandez was sentenced to 45 years in prison, as I mentioned last, for his role in orchestrating not just one thing, but a decades-long drug trafficking conspiracy that not only flooded America with cocaine, but also ravaged his own country of Honduras.
So, whatever it is, this is just my opinion, you know, as I'm listening to this. So that means that who he just let out is going to be tied to the Sinaloa cartel. Now, the Sinaloa cartel bus, the big bus in El Paso that the Trump administration, Patel, took credit for, but the reality of it is the bus went down under Biden. So whatever part of the drug industry that the Zionist was affiliated with, in partnership with, business with, was affected by that bus. When FBI Patel went in and just started firing people in the FBI for no reason, that was seasoned, very familiar, was a part of that bust. Stay with me, y'all. Stay woke. So he is freeing Honduras. No longer wants to do business with Venezuela. That's why he's blowing up the boats. Anything that is remotely look like it may be. So he's trying to cut off drug, I don't know what pretty word I want to find, you know, yeah, deals. I'm just going to say deals, transactions. Yeah, that was made with Venezuela. Y'all, are y'all with me? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, so this is intentional because there's no reason for him to be blowing up these boats. And he had already made a deal with Venezuela. And remember, he was going to send criminals over there to Venezuela where they can beat, kill, and steal, and grape, and do whatever. Whatever they doing over there in Israel, they was going to be doing over there. Okay? So when they called looking for that guy and they didn't bag old Trump, all deals was off. You know how he is. He's spiteful. Yeah. So I see why now he's blowing up those boats, because he don't want nobody doing business with Venezuela. So he freed Honduras, who is tied to Sinaloa cartel. Hold it. Park that. Because there's no reason why he should be blowing up these boats. He don't even know if they fishing. He don't know what they doing. Hell, they not even coming our way, and he's blowing them up. So he is intentionally cutting off their business, their drug business. So he releases Honduras so that they can get back their supply of drugs and get it at the price they normally would get it at, so they can get back to business. Hurry up, because they going through these files. I can't hold them off. Shit is leaking. It's going forward. It's getting ugly. So we need to make this shit happen. Stay woke, y'all. Park that. Let's go.
Prosecutor said that Mr. Hernandez was key to a scheme that lasted more than 20 years and brought more than 500 tons of cocaine into the United States. As president, Mr. Hernandez told the U.S. officials that he was doing his utmost to stamp out drug trafficking. But prosecutors said his political career had been fueled by drug money as early as 2009, when he was still a lawmaker and vying to lead the Honduran legislature. Hernandez was, somebody who used bribery, and that bribery went all the way with Hernandez. Hernandez directed the police and military to protect smugglers who paid him off, to protect smugglers.
Police and military. Y'all remember when we was on the DOLPH? And I kept saying how long I kept saying that the police, the judge, all them people are a part of the mob. They all in cahoots. It just, why are they keep letting these people out? It made no sense. They would get out before they would see the judge. Remember when I told y'all, once we found out that Big Juke was already in Dallas working with Zillionaire Doe, once he got assassinated, that YOGOTTI had to come out of hiding and continue what Big Juke was doing. And that's when he started giving locations. Y'all better stay woke. So police, let me say police. And this is somebody Trump. This is somebody Trump pardoned this week. Let's go.
Somebody who used bribery, and that bribery went all the way with Hernandez. Hernandez directed the police and military to protect smugglers who paid him off, to protect smugglers, and he promised to shield them from extradition to the United States.
And who? Military. I mean, law. Every time we turn around, the military coming up. Hell, they talking about the military with Charlie Kirk. Hell, the military with the threat on Candace Owens. I mean, law. I thought the military was supposed to be fighting wars. I mean, what are these? What are our young people and middle-aged people? What are they doing, sacrificing their life for the U.S.? I mean, huh? Oh, yeah, but then we just have a corporal, a lieutenant, or somebody just retired. Yeah, he said, fuck this shit. We ain't signed up for this. Yeah.
States. One accused co-conspirator was killed in the military to protect smugglers who paid.
So they had co-conspirators, Trump? I mean, you said it was a witch hunt. They got co-conspirators? I'm trying to get a little food in, D Weaver, but this was so good. I Lord. I mean, so hold on. How you have co-conspirators? That mean he was doing something, huh? He had people. Oh, so he had people telling. So it wasn't a witch hunt.
Somebody who used bribery, and that bribery went all the way with Hernandez. Hernandez directed the police and military to protect smugglers who paid him off, to protect smugglers, and he promised to shield them from extradition to the United States. One accused
he was protecting them like Trump be protect. Lord have mercy. There's always a pattern, ain't it?
conspirator, was killed in a Honduran prison to protect the president, according to those court documents. He used drug money to manipulate the vote in 2 elections, the document said. During his initial run for president in 2013, prosecutors stated that his campaign was partially funded by notorious drug lord El Chapo, who gave him a $1 million bribe. Davis Leonel Rivera Maradiaga, a former leader of a gang called Los Cachiros, who admitted to being involved in the deaths of 78 people, also testified that he had bribed Mr. Hernandez with $250,000 delivered to the president's sister Hilda in exchange for protection. Another witness at his 2021 trial also stated that Hernandez boasted that we are going to stuff the drugs up the gringos' noses and they're never even going to know it. I missed that party, by the way. Even though the country of Honduras celebrated his arrest after he left office in 2022, you'll recall the president just before saying that it's what the people want. The country celebrated his arrest. Trump still believes he's a great guy, and this was all a setup.
Wow.
You've made so clear how you want to keep drugs out of the U.S.
Right.
Can you explain more about why you would pardon a notorious drug trafficker?
Well, I don't know who you're talking about. Which
Juan Orlando Hernandez.
Well, I was told, I was asked by Honduras, many of the people of Honduras, they said it was a Biden setup.
You was told by pro-Israel.
Didn't know he was alive, but it was the people that surround the Resolute desk, surround Biden when he was there, which was about very little time. And the people of Honduras really thought he was set up and it was a terrible thing. He was the president of the country. And they basically said he was a drug dealer because he was the president of the country. And they said it was a Biden administration setup. And I looked at the facts and I agreed with them.
What evidence did you share?
How can Honduras
When you take a look, I mean,
tell the U.S.?
You take any country you want. If somebody sells drugs in that country, that doesn't mean you arrest the president and put him in jail for the rest of his life.
It turns out only
y'all
people
believe
with childhood
this?
trauma can figure this out. The reason is because people with childhood
Baby, I
trauma
knew it
are
was
used
big. I just didn't know how big it was.
Just because he was the president, apparently. Hernandez shouldn't be called a drug trafficker, is what Trump says, but he is. But it is okay to call Nicolas Maduro one when there's absolutely no evidence to support that. Is that what the president is telling us? Again, this move completely undermines everything he is carrying out in the Caribbean basin. Now, Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia, the ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Subcommittee on the Western Hemisphere, that's a tough business card, called Trump out on that, saying on Face the Nation Sunday that Hernandez was the leader of one of the largest criminal enterprises that has ever been subject to a conviction in U.S. courts, and less than 1 year into his sentence, President Trump is pardoning him, suggesting that President Trump cares nothing about narco trafficking. So,
Nothing.
Cenk, there's
Because
a
he's
lot
a drug
here,
dealer
but
and a human child trafficker.
Actually, the fact that the most blatant
As well.
hypocrisy and the fact that any presidential advisor said, hey, this is a good idea, as we're trying to mount what appears to be a false war with
A false
Venezuela.
war.
Yeah, there's an obvious culprit here. Let me give you the 3 potential.
Y'all please get the likes up. Let's go.
Joe Biden.
Somehow I didn't make my list of 3 potential culprits.
Okay.
But one with a bullet, if you will. So when Trump on the Truth Social post talked about many people that I greatly respect told me to let him go, and then he started talking in the video you just saw about people around the Resolute desk and how they were the wrong guys under Biden, but they're the right guys in his case. And he's basically seems to not know anything about the guy. They told him to pardon him, and he thought it was to his advantage to do so, so he did. By the way, first, before I get to the potential culprits, those are the people he respects that he got the advice from. I'm going to give you a little bit more detail about this guy. Aided in at least 56 murders that we know of. Dozens of traffickers, drug traffickers, testified during his trial and said, oh, yeah, we did all these murders, and he knew about it, and he aided and abetted it. And by the way, we gave him the money so that he could rise up from an unknown rural congressman in Honduras to the presidency, right? So drug trafficking was not something he did on the side because he had access to power. That's how he rose up to having power in Honduras. And El Chapo apparently gave his brother $1 million bribe. And by the way, all of this stuff was proven in U.S. courts.
Yep.
So there's not really any doubt about it at all, and he was convicted. So no question he did all these things. By the way, whoever the people were that advised him, they might want him back in power because there's a ruling in Honduras that says he could run again. So now he might be like out of a 45-year prison sentence for being one of the worst drug traffickers in our lifetime, and back to running a country. Okay, so who might have put him up to this? So number one is potentially donors, right? So that's who Trump usually does favors for. Oh, why are we going to potentially war with Venezuela when they do the least drug trafficking, right? Because of oil companies, and oil companies were huge donors to Donald Trump. So that's culprit number one, but I don't think the most likely. Culprit number two is, well, I got to tell you this fact. Apparently, Hernandez moved Honduras's embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. And that was very, very well received in power circles in Washington. Okay, so that's, of course, what Israel wants. They're very happy with it. So maybe they did a whispering, oh, nah, you know, he's a terrible drug trafficker, but he did what Israel ordered him to do. So here we go. Go ahead and pardon him. By the way, it's not like Israel hasn't asked for pardons for people who have betrayed us and gotten it. Jonathan Pollard, right? One of the worst spies in American history. And by the way, that the kind of pardon was Obama and Trump, which allowed him to return to Israel. Okay, but I think that those are two less likely choices. I think the most likely choice is the CIA. Because has the CIA worked with foreign leaders who might be dealing drugs? Of course! We know that for a fact. They used to work with Noriega, then they turned on Noriega. And so now they used to work with her. My guess is they used to work with Hernandez. Then once he lost power, they didn't need him anymore, and they knew what a terrible guy he was. So they turned on him, and that might be the guys around the Resolute desk that told Biden, hey, you know what? He's a terrible guy. I mean, we used him all we could. Now let's throw him in jail. And Trump thinks, oh, you can't do that. Now new CIA guys come in and go, no. We can put him back in charge. Deal all the drugs we want. Kill everybody we want. As long as we get whatever we want. Well, I don't know what we want from Honduras. But in my experience, in my lifetime, the CIA has never justified its existence. It has been a horrendous cancer in this country that has served corporations and foreign interests and almost never served the American people. So I don't know what the dirty CIA is up to, but apparently they like this disgusting creep is my best guess. Now, you know the facts about him. You know my guess is, what's your guess?
My guess is that it's a combination. I don't know enough as to what the motivations for the CIA would be. I'm not disagreeing. I just don't know, and I didn't think about it. I think Nayib Bukele in El Salvador and trying to sort of have a kind of a uniparty governance in El Salvador where it's the rich and the influential in Central America, which is what Bukele wants. So he wants regime change in all the countries surrounding El Salvador. So I think that it's probably partly to do with that, I suspect. And also, I think it falls under, and we'll talk about this in the next story on Alina Habba, I think it also falls under this idea that undoing everything that the previous administration did is still job number one for this president, and it happens at every turn. Now, I'm not saying that this is exactly that, or that there's motivation for doing it just on that basis, but it is consistent, and they do it all the time, and it is so hypocritical. The other thing is, when I was down in Honduras doing an immigration story in 2021, I guess, one of the people I was interviewing who was upset that with America's position on immigration, it's like, why do you